Think about the last text you read. It might have been a detailed WhatsApp message about an event in your village or a local newspaper article. Even without being in a novel, you are already consuming massive amounts of prose every day. Prose is simply ordinary writing structured into sentences and paragraphs. While it is the foundation of fiction, like the Moses series by Barbara Comenier, it also includes nonfiction, like history textbooks and biographies. We can define prose by what it is not. This matrix shows the boundaries. Unlike poetry, which uses stanzas and rhythm, or drama, which relies on scripts and stage directions, prose uses standard, everyday language. Because prose lacks the visual performance of a play or the rhythmic beat of a poem, it must build a world from the ground up. To do this, it relies on three core pillars: setting, character, and plot. We begin with the setting. Beyond just identifying a location, the setting establishes the specific mood of the story before the action even begins. Consider a basic sentence: "The boy walked down the road." This communicates the core information: who is involved and what is happening, but it provides no sensory context for the reader. We transform the scene using language effects. Adjectives like tired, muddy, and dusty describe the environment. Notice "like an empty drum." This simile compares the stomach to a hollow instrument, using sensory sound to demonstrate hunger rather than stating it. This principle also applies to characterization. A writer reveals a character's personality through their actions and dialogue, allowing the reader to deduce traits implicitly. In this photograph, we see young men sharing food from a common bowl. If a writer describes a character sharing their roasted maize with classmates, they are demonstrating generosity through action, without ever having to use the word itself. By combining specific sensory details with these implicit actions, writers invite the reader to mentally reconstruct the scene. The audience assembles the full experience from the specific pieces provided on the page. If setting and character are the foundation, the plot is the engine. It is the sequence of events that takes the reader on a structured journey from beginning to end. This flowchart maps that journey. We start at the base, the introduction, meeting characters and establishing the setting. As a problem arises, we enter the rising action, where conflict begins and narrative tension steadily increases. We can see this tension visually in the gridlock of a busy taxi park. Imagine a character stuck in this chaos while rushing toward a life-changing appointment. The environment itself creates the stress. Think about that character in the taxi park. If the vehicle breaks down at the exact moment they need to move, and the stress reaches its absolute peak, what is the literary term for that moment? That peak is the climax. It is the most intense point of the story and the ultimate turning point for the characters, though it is not yet the conclusion. A strong plot functions as a tension management system. It hooks the reader by escalating the stakes until that breaking point is finally reached. After the climax, the story moves into the falling action, revealing the immediate consequences of the turning point. Finally, we reach the resolution. Main problems are solved, and tension returns to normal as the story comes to its end. Because prose relies on the precision of these structural elements, a well-crafted 100-word microstory can be more impactful than a rambling novel. Quality is found in how effectively you use these techniques, not in the total word count. This split-screen graphic provides a final overview of the concepts we've explored. On the left is the structural map of the plot, and on the right are the language effects used to fill that structure with life. By combining vivid language with a deliberate plot structure, you can transform ordinary writing into a captivating and immersive story.